And something that I'm very passionate about is how the coaches in my Minnesota past have impacted me. I have a lot of different coaches that, I've been coached by a majority of very different people, whether that be from youth, college, professional, some of which I've had, great relationships with. Brad Frost, Natalie Darwitz, Joel Johnson, Bethany Browsen, Tony Kashi, who's here today, Scott Bowlby, and Dan Anderson. These are all people that have truly made me and have, accepted me for someone who always wants to be the best, is a perfectionist. I'm not always the easiest to work with, but they're all people that, as much as you can do as a coach, it's the willingness of your kids to learn, and I learned amazing lessons from them. And they've all set me up for success to become pro, and I didn't have to leave Minnesota to do that. My next adventure was playing professional hockey in my home state. A lot of people ask me if that is a dream of mine, and honestly, I can say it wasn't, because it wasn't anything I could have dreamed of when I was young. I dreamed of being in the NBA, I dreamed of playing on the Timberwolves, but I never dreamed of playing professional hockey in Minnesota because it wasn't something that I could look up to. I knew I could play in college, I didn't know what was after that. And like I said, it wasn't a dream to me, but it means the world to me and play in front of my home crowd and my home fans, and to be able to do that my whole life. I remember when the draft order came out and Minnesota was #1, and I knew I'd put myself in a good position to go at that position. And I remember, I have no recollection of when I met Billie Jean King because I have no idea what happened that day. But I do know that I was very excited, and to play and to be picked by my home state first overall was honestly a dream come true. And I take great pride in being from Minnesota. Like I've said, anytime anyone asks me where I'm from, I say Minnesota with a proud smile on my face. And not only win 1 championship, but 2 back-to-back in the PWHL. The state of hockey, Toronto tries to take that from us, and it is not the same, trust me. But it is so important to have the Minnesota team to inspire the younger generations here in Minnesota. Nothing is more important than this. Giving all the little girls something to aspire to. As much as I love the Wild, as much as I wanted to be Zach Parise, it's important to see people who look like you achieve the dreams that you have. The dynamic of our Frost team is something that I love to talk about as well. We weren't always the best, but we came out on top both times. And I would say that's the exact same thing about my youth teams, the exact same things about my high school teams, and the same exact things about my college team. The dynamic was hard for people to figure out. We mixed skill with blue collar, and there was a lot of experience, but no matter if people put us on a sheet of paper and put us up against the next team, we weren't always gonna be the best, but we had the heart. And from the discernment and people on social media, even though people weren't always supporting us, we felt like we had it in that locker room, and we did. And I think something that I think is so cool is the fact that Minnesota stuck behind every player on our team and acted like they were their own. And that's an honor.